Welcome to the News at 4. I'm Doug Petcash. A big day in the Lori Vallow Daybell murder trial. Closing arguments in the Eastern Idaho mom's trial wrapped up just about 90 minutes ago. Now the case is in the hands of the jury. They started deliberating this afternoon. Vallow was charged with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and grand theft in the deaths of two of her own kids, JJ and Tylee, and her husband's late wife, Tammy Daybell. My co-anchor here on the News at 4, Shira Matsuzawa, has been covering this trial since the beginning. Shira, what's it been like today?
Well, you know, Doug, for the first time since this entire trial started, we saw more than 100 people inside the overflow room with me today. And that's way more than we've seen this entire duration of the trial, which speaks to the interest of this case moving forward. But like every day that we've been here in court, we saw Larry Woodcock, JJ's grandpa, as he arrived this morning. Take a listen.
Guys, today is the day. That song was JJ's song. He played it, he sang it, he loved it. And I can't think of a better day to play that song in memory of JJ. And I am ready for this. The gloves are off. It's time to get this show on.
Rob Wood delivered the closing remarks for the state. He opened with money, power, and sex, the same way the prosecution began its opening statement. Wood says Lori and Chad acted together to cause the deaths of JJ, Tylee, and Tammy. Wood told the jurors, "You saw evidence of Tylee's body burned beyond recognition, but Lori kept collecting Tylee's money." He said JJ's voice was silenced forever by a piece of duct tape and buried like a piece of trash in Chad's backyard. The court saw those photos again as the prosecution talked. He said the evidence is clear. Lori, Chad, and Alex, Lori's brother, conspired to murder Tammy. Wood said Lori was conveniently gone when Tammy was murdered. She was out of the state, but those trips were not coincidences. And Lori wasted no time in making sure she benefited from Tammy's life insurance money because 2 weeks later, Lori married Chad on a beach in Hawaii. The jury also saw a text from Chad to Tammy, again from September 9th of 2019. It's a text where Chad talks about shooting and burying a raccoon in their pet cemetery. Wood said this text is where Chad told us where to locate Tylee. This text tells us where he burned her limbs. Wood said this was all a plan for Chad and Lori to be together without obstacles. In his closing argument, Wood said Chad and Lori used religion as a tool to manipulate others. The defense was up next. Vallow's attorney, Jim Archibald, said testimony showed Lori was a good mom. He says while evidence showed Alex and Chad in Chad's backyard where the kids were buried, it doesn't place Lori there. He said if Lori had a plan to kill her kid, why would she hire a babysitter only to kill JJ the next week? Archibald says it's because Lori didn't have a plan. Did she lie about her kids' whereabouts? Yeah, she did. But he says if this was about money, then why didn't she get an insurance policy on her two kids before they died? He also told the jurors when one of Lori's hairs were found on that duct tape, it wasn't a smoking gun because decomposition, pajamas, socks, and a blanket were also in that bag. He also put a lot of blame on Chad and that all of the beliefs Lori was following was from Chad. Archibald also addressed the jury, saying, of the 15,000 text messages you have in evidence, show me one where Lori says, when are you killing Tylee or JJ? He says you can't. The state then had a chance to respond to the defense. Rob Wood closed by saying Lori would tell her friends that nothing in this life counted for her. Wood said, make it count for Lori Vallow, that Tylee was burned, mutilated, buried in a bucket next to a dog and cat. He said, make it count for JJ, a boy with special needs who had a plastic bag around his head, and make it count for Tammy. Earlier this morning, Judge Stephen Boyce denied the defense's motion for an acquittal. You can read more about this at ktvb.com. And I will say that there was a moment when we broke for lunch, Doug, where Lori was seen crying and emotional while talking to her attorneys. Her fate, now lies in the hands of the jurors.
And Shira, speaking of the jury, is there any indication of how long they could deliberate today?
Yeah, no, not at this moment. I think a lot of people were trying to figure out if there was a time frame, but there wasn't at this point. So it's up to anyone's guess. We'll just have to wait and see.
And obviously it could go for hours, it could go for days even, and we'll be on top of it. Shira, thank you so much.